Welcome to VibeCheck. Today, we got me, one of your hosts, Kalyan Rath. To the left of me on my screen, we got Lisa.
Hi.
Underneath me, we got Chris. We got Houtan on the show today, an A&R from SoCan, and we just wanted to bring him in to talk about this. Like, we just recently learned about SoCan, and we thought this was some really cool information that we wanted to share with our fellow artists listening to the show. So Houtan, for the listeners who don't know what SoCan is, can you explain maybe a little bit of what exactly you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thanks a lot, guys, for having me. Anytime I can kind of, connect with music lovers, people who want to be in the music business, creators or whatnot, it's always a good time. So as you mentioned, I'm the A&R for SoCan in Vancouver. SoCan, if you don't know, is Canada's Performance Royalty Organization, formerly known as a PRO. You hear that term a lot in the music industry, PRO. Essentially what SoCan is it's one of the most important players in the music ecosystem. We represent nearly 160,000 songwriters, composers, and music publishers. Essentially, when you become a member with us and you register your songs with us, whenever your music gets played around the world, we are the society that pays you out. When a song gets played, this is known as a performance. So when we pay you out, it's a performance royalty, hence the name Performance Royalty Organization. So SoCan collects royalties and pays out their members from the following platforms. So Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, radio play, TV plays, movies, live performances, and Disney Plus and Netflix.
So as an A&R, what exactly is your role? And what exactly do you do?
Mm-hmm. Well, the first and foremost thing is when you join SoCan, we make sure you get paid when your music is played around the world. So that's always our number one goal, is to make sure that we have our members' backs, and we make sure that the money is straight and they're collecting all the royalties that they're entitled to. As an A&R for SoCan, of course we do a lot of back-end work, the admin stuff that I mentioned, but we also do a lot of creative stuff with members. And it kind of starts out with just building relationships. That's what we're out here doing. We're building relationships with all sorts of different songwriters, composers, and publishers, and helping them out any way we can. SoCan is more than just a performance royalty organization. We are an excellent resource for members to help them kind of further their music career. So a day-to-day as an A&R, it looks different every day. I'm not gonna lie, it looks different every day, but I'm always on the horn. I have my eyes and my ears on the ground, on what's happening in West Canada, genres, being diverse, and I love it. I love building these relationships with music makers and being a helpful resource for them.
What are some examples of resources you can provide for artists that are a part of SoCan?
The first one is just making sure that their money is straight, helping them out with any admin that they might need from SoCan. If they're eligible, they provide in advance. So, if you're making some good royalties, then we'll run the numbers and be able to provide in advance for them. We pay out our statements every 3 months, so there's 4 statements in a year. Also, as the A&R team, we put on what we call Song Camp Mondays. So before I get into that, our head office is in Toronto. We have an office in Montreal. We have an office in LA, and of course one in Vancouver. All of these offices, except for Montreal is being built right now, but we have studios inside our office. And as A&R, we curate song camps every other Monday, where we bring in a producer, songwriter, and law planner, and just have a session for the whole day. We've been doing that every other Monday. Of course, with the pandemic happening, we're not in the office. So what we did was we took the song camps virtual, typically over WebEx or Zoom, and we've just been banging them out every week, being a bridge to many different music creators and just putting on these virtual song camps. So that's one of the things that we do. The thing that SoCan provides is what's called SoCan House. We have a SoCan house in LA, one in Paris, and one in Nashville. These are free for our members to use for up to a week. They just have to pay for the cleaning fee. I believe it's like $200 for the week, so it's a pretty solid deal. But again, it's complicated right now with the COVID situation, but hopefully once things kind of settle down, we'll go back to normal. These are kind of a few things that we provide.
Crazy, yeah, that's a lot. I just recently signed up for with SoCan, just sent in all my stuff the other day. How once you join, how do you get like access to all that stuff? Who do you have to necessarily get in contact with?
You can go onto the site and just look at the resources, but then again, that's the beauty of having A&Rs is this is what we're here for, to help you out with kind of things, building these relationships. So if there's any inquiries, like I always tell our members, don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's kind of what I'm here for, to build these connections so I can help them out with those kind of things.
Yes. How did you realize that this is something that you want to do? Like, are you also an artist, or like, how did you get in contact with people?
I mean, since I could walk, I've always listened to music, and it's been a huge part of my life. My parents, obviously huge music lovers, they play instruments as well. My sister introduced me to like hip hop, R&B. My closest cousin was a singer-songwriter. She showed me the ropes a little bit too, so I was kind of exposed to music at a young age, and it's just something that I'm obsessed with. It's something that I really resonate with. And then when I turned 16, I was like, you know what, I'll start DJing. I'll start putting on events and bringing people together for the love of music. So it was kind of the ball just started to roll. And then when I turned 19, I started playing clubs in Vancouver, and just did that really, really consistently. Played essentially every club venue in the city, and started putting on my own events, providing a platform for artists to host or perform and just kind of showcase their stuff. So it was a nice balance between being on top of music, knowing what people want to hear, listen to, dance to, but also bringing people together. So that combination of having an ear for music, but also networking and bringing people together, kind of was stepping stone to being an A&R. I realized pretty quickly that I wanted to get into the music business. So I just went hard. I put a lot of time and energy into my DJing stuff, into my craft, and just networking, kind of knowing the scene here in Vancouver, and just doing whatever I can to get a job mainstream. Luckily for me, it turned out. Alongside of the DJing and event stuff, I was doing some talent line too, for some companies in Vancouver, booking bands, DJs, artists for shows, music festivals, that kind of thing. So that's kind of how I got into this role.
That's awesome. What would you say is the best way to, because Vancouver is not like a huge city, like people, like artists know each other and stuff. What would you say is like the best way to meet people? Was it live shows or like DM people? Or...
There's no like right way of going about things. I would just going about things, but just being genuine and just being yourself will go a long way. Use your social media platform to promote yourself. That's free pretty much. Whether you're a music creator, like promoting yourself through Instagram, networking through these social platforms, it's not super difficult to do. And as you mentioned, Vancouver's not a big city, so just getting out there, putting yourself out there and meeting people, not being shot at also. Of course, with the pandemic happening and the live music concerts, it's kind of difficult, but when things were normal, I would always go to shows and support acts in Vancouver and just meet people. Like I said, using my social media platforms to promote myself, promote them, and just network. It's very, very doable. If this is something that you want to do and you want to tap in and network the scene, it can be done.
Definitely.
So, if you don't mind me interjecting real quick, so you mentioned that you're sort of in the know-how to like you pay attention to the stuff that happens on the West Coast and like Vancouver scene, local scene. So do you have any like maybe under the radar favorite artists, like maybe some upcoming projects that you're excited about?
I mean, Vancouver has a solid indie scene. I feel like the music scene is kind of built on that and just blossomed and grew to different genres. Vancouver's so beautiful because it's so diverse, culturally, genre-wise. We're actually very grateful to be in a city like that. But one thing that I really noticed, the hip-hop and R&B scene has really taken off. And we're seeing a lot of artists that are doing it real and putting the city on the map. It's really exciting to see. Just an example, Baby No Money. I mean, here's a guy straight from Vancouver. Like I knew him before the song dropped, la la la. And look where he is right now, man. And it's crazy to see a guy like Vancouver from that doing those two. We're all so proud of him, and that's just one example. Another one would be Manila Gray. The music that they're putting out is exceptional. I know those guys have been going hard, doing a lot of work into their music, into their craft, and to see that pay off again, it's very exciting. Another one would be a close friend of mine, Muslim, who put out his project Black Lotus. Phenomenal project, and he has a lot of music in the vault, and he's going to be putting out some music pretty soon here. So it's exciting to see these guys really do everything. There's so many to name. I know I named a lot of the hip hop guys, but that's just a thing to keep a close eye on. It's nice to see that genre blossoms.
Yeah, I remember moving here and not knowing any of the names, but definitely those three names have I've become huge fans of all those guys. They pretty much just picked up especially last year, beginning of the year, I had no idea who Boston was, and then it went from that to being excited for him to drop Black Lotus, and I can see a lot of artists I'm slowly discovering more and more artists in the scene that look like they're about to do the exact same thing, right? And it's yeah.
Exciting times.
Are there any specific traits maybe that people look for in artists nowadays?
It's being authentic, being yourself. I feel like as a music listener, you really feel like if the music that they're putting out is genuine. There's so much music coming out, and you need to be unique. You need to have a unique sound to make the music listener feel a certain way. It's difficult to kind of comment on that. So many different ways of going, but I'll say the biggest thing is be genuine with what you're doing. Hone your sound. Don't need to put out your music start writing music, making music. Put in that time and energy into studio, and then rest of your craft before you're ready. And then once you kind of find your sound, you feel comfortable, then you can start promoting it out. Yeah, I would say that. Just be genuine and be authentic and creative. Be creative.
Yeah, definitely. Just living in a time where social media is so present in artists' success and stuff, would you say that it's that's the main thing you need to focus on as an artist to be successful, promoting yourself in social media? Maybe focus on your craft more, or
definitely focus on your craft more. Always love music. That's always going to be the most important thing. Good music speaks for itself. You put in the hours and mind into craft, and then it'll be I think social media, it's the resource, it's a platform to showcase your craft. It's not the main thing.
Yeah.
It's a tool, essentially.
Yeah. It's become a thing that's things pop in and out, right? Facebook used to be the big social media platform, now it's Instagram, and who knows what the next big social media platform will be, but it's or TikTok at this, yeah. But one thing I noticed is especially artists blow up on TikTok, they'll have the one song pop off, and then after that, there's a few that have been able to keep that whatever they gained from their song and popular on the app for a week, being able to use whatever that attention that they got from that weekend, turn it into a career kind of thing. So yeah, as long as you know how to use the tools, I guess you can say then it'll work out. Yeah.
And that's what it's about, man. If you want music to be your career, then it needs to be longevity.
Yeah.
Not so much just blowing up. You need to figure the back end as well and make that you're maximizing your royalties, and then make all the money that you're entitled to make, so you can have a successful career in music.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it, but it always kind of comes back to music.
Yeah, that's a conversation we've had with a lot of artists, that it's a lot of artists have been I've been working on my craft, and now I gotta work, they all feel that you need to put even more work into the business side of it, and figuring out how to maximize all your royalties and how to promote and how to get people to listen to your music. Yeah, that was one big reason I wanted to bring you into it, because it was here's one way to maximize your royalties, and someone that knows how to get connections and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, because for local artists, I think it's easier to get to know people, but I think it's harder to, especially for LA or New York or these big cities. How do you get not know, but how do you meet people from there when you're not necessarily living there?
Well, again, it kind of comes back to the social media, and that's true. So you can connect with people out in LA or New York from your home. I would say always putting out your music on all platforms. Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, create visuals behind the music, doing whatever you can, kind of put out your music and then promote yourself. Nowadays, it's definitely a lot easier to connect people from where you're living. I think that's that's one thing that's on our side for the youth.
Definitely.
But Do you think that it's still like I know that at least the most artist stories that are always that they will come from a small city and then move to a big city like LA and New York and then there get lucky to meet one person that can pretty much like make their career, if that makes sense, like not make their career but like get all the connections they need by moving to a big city. Do you think that still exists kind of thing? Like you think that an artist from Vancouver would need to, if they really want to become bigger than just Vancouver, they need to go to LA and find resources there instead and make more connections there instead of just keeping it going in the city?
I think every situation varies, you know, like you can't really get blanket answers. Everyone's situation is different. I think Vancouver is on the rise and a lot of special things happening here. There's a lot of artists, producers that you can collaborate with in a city and you know, like further your career with each other. And it's a great city to be doing that. But obviously, like, you know, if that's kind of what you're doing, move to a big city, and yeah, of course, like LA, and you have more things going on in huge cities, huge news things. So yeah, of course, like if you get to a point like that in your career, I think it is beneficial to work at that. Just because there's so many resources and
Yeah, speaking of like this era, like social media stuff, like a lot of artists like just rise really fast and then just like get cancelled. Like the cancel culture is really present nowadays as well. Like, what would you say are some big no-nos in the industry?
Let's just say, just be respectful. While doing this together, all want about good music and build a career out of being an artist, and being an artist hard. It's hard. I mean, it can be really hard, especially at the beginning stages. It's difficult to make money. You struggle with financially at the beginning. But just being respectful and supporting other artists and just collaborating with one another. I think that's always a great thing. Like, no, Suji, don't be into that. I don't put people down. Like LN people will talk, but it's the truth. I think in Vancouver, I remember when I was a little young, I felt like it was kind of cliquey in a sense. It felt like a bit of a rat. People want to be the song to blow up and bring each other down to do it. But what you're seeing is City is connecting, right? And starting to mix with one another and look at the results. Look at all these artists that are redoing it and getting bigger. I think that's what we got to do. We got to work with each other and support City, support artists. Not to blast people, no need to, you know, put out negative comments or whatever against just about positivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's savage out here nowadays. When cancel culture, you say one thing, like, it'd be over with you.
Yeah.
So just think before you talk, think before you post.
Definitely.
Be aware.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it's so easy to like connect with people nowadays on social media. So how important do you think it is now to even sign to the label or have a manager and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of benefits to signing a record label to have a manager. But again, every situation is different. Having a manager record label might be really beneficial for one person. The person may not be the best situation right now. With a manager, it's great because someone that you trust, they can definitely help you out with the back end, managing your career, and just so you can kind of focus on music and creating and focusing on Rath. So of course that's very beneficial. But I would say like don't rush into it. Don't go on Craigslist and say I'm looking for a manager because they're gonna look at you with a dollar sign. You know, you have to see a very natural relation. It needs to be genuine. You need to find someone that's gonna break your back for you and really believes you, and vice versa. You have to really believe and trust the manager. And it's tricky because you don't want to maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you don't want to sign a huge manager right off the bat because maybe he has a bunch of different artists that he's gonna attend to more, and you need a lot of you need more attention because you're trying to like start out. So maybe find someone that's kind of on your level, so you guys can do it together. It's difficult to find the right manager, and it should be difficult. But when you find that person and you're ready to have a manager, it's a very good thing. And definitely fully recommend. That kind of same goes for a record label. I would say maybe have a manager for the record label.
Yeah. We read a lot about, I think, especially off the air, I have a lot of conversations with you guys about, like, we all see the bigger artists complaining about their, like, labels and stuff. Like, you had Tory Lane celebrating that he finally, like, was free of his label, and it's like, it gets very nervous. Like, because we see a lot of young artists, like, if they ever get an opportunity to sign any sort of deal for a little bit of money, they'll take it, but then there's others that are, like, too scared, even if it's a good deal, because, like, of what we see on the internet now, all these artists that are, like, screw their labels and things like that. That's just a bit nervous. Like, I have a few artists that are very, like, anti-label, and it's like, I wouldn't necessarily anti-label, but I'll just be very careful of why signing, like, situation, like, you need to sign, I mean, or, like,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it comes out to, like, we're out in your rear, and not rushing into anything.
I think going back a bit more into SoCan, though, since we're speaking about labels, does being signed to a label affect anything with also being a part of SoCan, or no?
No, the record label's not tied in with performance royalties.
Okay.
That would just be along with composer and publisher.
Houtan, you mentioned that you still do like DJ and stuff. I'm intrigued. I really want to do DJing first. So how that come about to like first start off and what you do that?
I always just follow my heart. If I really want to do something, I'm gonna do it. I don't care if I fall straight on my face, I'll do it. I try, but I want to do it. 15, 16, I was like, I really want to DJ because the music, I want to play the music, I want to act videos today, and I want to bring people together and have a good time. So I bought a little stroller, you don't think about it, I'm like, just on YouTube, how to DJ one video, okay, so it's slowing the time and got better slowly. After a year, I upgraded my controller, and then I just kept practicing, got some gigs, through just gambling, and more people that came to shop. I was terrible with others, but every time I did it, I got a little bit better and learned, and I upgraded and turned turntables and mixer in my house, and I wanted to break. I see music from that.
That's so great.
Yeah, if you like what you should do, it can do. It's gonna be hard at first, you're probably not gonna get great at first, but like depending on what you put in the time.
Sure. Do you have any specific artists that you were inspired by or were to at the time and now?
It's like weird enough, when I was 8 years old, I was fascinated by Southern street music and stuff, and it was like Left Turner, and it was like the first thing I ever bought was Hyper K. I really like that Rockstar.
Yeah.
But I just saw kind of be in the left of center type music. I thought it was really creative. I was like what I thought and she I was really inspired. This made like a little bit of like different stuff. But honestly, it's one in life. I can honestly say I love all genre. I respect. I listen to all different types of music all the time. I'm constantly looking for new music and stuff. So if you take a look at some of my playlists, you're gonna see different all genres. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's such a necessary thing. It's like you can't never know what you like until you listen to all the genres, so you should never limit yourself.
I was at this ice cream shop the other day. It has like 200 flavors, and I was like,
yeah.
How do I know what's my favorite? Well, you have to try them more. It kind of ties back to like the food. Like, how do you know what your favorite style is? After try everything, and by trying everything, you're gonna grow as an artist.
Yeah.
You don't have to play safe. You don't have to stick to one thing. You try 10, you try different things. Be a creative. That's what it is.
Keep it creative and listening to everything. You can like bring in from all kinds of genres. Yeah. Help create something unique. Yeah.
Even for talent, I think talent is so overrated. It doesn't really last long as you know something and you put in the effort. Like you could have a talent that you never knew you had, I don't know, ping pong or something, but you never tried, right? Mm-hmm. Just try things.
I'm awesome on water.
Okay, yeah. We'll be sure to do that. Just quarantine's a bit more cool. We'll be calling you. We'll be ready. We'll be, yeah.
So I should have a ping pong table.
Yeah.
That's a great deal. I'll vouch for that.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned or that you maybe can share pieces of these. Are you working on it right now?
Yeah, I produce here and there, but right now I'm focusing on the kind of to that back from creating music. I just DJ mostly, and pursuing a career in the business side, and that's kind of where I am now. So maybe I'll mess around with it here and there, but I'll say my days as a producer.
I mean, it's good to have that knowledge though, really, especially when a company like SoCan, when you're connecting with artists and they're talking to you about certain stuff, you can relate. So it's pretty much, yeah.
Is there anything you'd like the listeners to know before we end off the show today?
Yeah, if you're serious about music, sign up with SoCan. It's free. Collect your royalties.
Yes.
Collect your royalties. Educate yourself on the business end. Like I mentioned, it's tough being an artist. So you're entitled to it. When your song gets streamed, it gets played out, you're entitled to those royalties. So go to SoCan, register. As I mentioned, it's free. It's pretty straightforward registering your music, but if you hit a speed bump, I'm gonna give out my email right now. You guys can reach out to me. So it's Houtan, HOUTAN HODANIA @SoCan.com. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's Hoots _ HOUTZ _ Don't hesitate to reach out. I love meeting as many people as I possibly can, and just being a positive resource for artists' careers. So yeah, if you guys want to connect or learn a little bit more, hit me up.
Yeah, you're helping out a lot of artists, so thank you for.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. There's I told a lot of my artist friends about this. They're very excited to listen to this show and be enlightened. Yeah.
Thank you for providing the platform for me to speak on behalf of SOCAN and myself. One little thing that I'll add, like SOCAN is a not-for-profit organization, so we don't make money off of our members. We pay out 100%, so you guys are entitled. As I mentioned, there's no catch really. Sign up, free, but 100% of your royalties.
There's nothing to lose, so might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This has been VibeCheck.